Shots like this.
Yeah.
Just absolutely incredible. 7 times All-NBA, 10-time All-Star. He's deep in his career, 14th year, 33 years old, 2-time scoring champ.
Come on, man.
Trying to advance back to a conference finals.
Just when people were ready to turn out the lights on James Harden, he turned out Boston lights. Cassidy?
James, what a moment here with your friend John Howe. A bounce-back performance. What did it mean to you to put together that type of show for John and the Sixers fans today?
I put the work in, so it's all about being aggressive, man. Tonight it was really do or die, you know what I mean? I had a special guest in the building, Lil JH. He just gave me good luck. He brought me good vibes, good energy, so really this game was for him.
And you may need to invite him to a couple more games in the playoffs.
Every game from here on out.
Can you walk me through that go-ahead bucket out of that pass and bounce?
It was supposed to be a dribble handoff with me, but Jaylen Brown denied me, so I just gave Joel space. And Jaylen Brown helped, and Joel made a hell of a pass, an MVP pass. And I shoot that shot every day, so.
And they made you guys work for it, but now all tied at 2 heading back to Boston. Oh, what type of confidence does this game and this win give this team right now?
Huge confidence, huge confidence. I feel like last game, we didn't play well offensively. Defensively, we played extremely hard, but we just didn't get no shots to fall. It was about our spacing, and tonight we did a much better job of spacing the floor, giving guys room to operate and knock down some shots.
Congrats on the win, and I'm sure it made all the difference to put a smile on John's face.
I appreciate that.
Back to you.
What a moment on so many different levels and layers. James Harden exercised his postseason demons once again here tonight with a supreme, magisterial performance, 42 points.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Clap your hands, everybody, for the Philadelphia 76ers. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Man Cave. We all right. Of course, you listen to Much About Them podcast, show where we give expert takes and good-hearted debates. We talk ball and anything and everything else. Today, we'll be talking to NBA playoffs. If you got something to say, put it in the comments. If you're new to the pod, greetings. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, smash that bell. If you're already part of the fam, welcome back. Please like, share, and comment. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let's get into it.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, everybody out there, to all our loyal listeners. I appreciate y'all tuning in on this Sunday, this Sports Sunday. Let's get into this thing. First, I want to start off saying shout out to James Harden, man. Did a major thing on that court. If you don't know, the guy that he was handing those shoes to is a victim of that Michigan State shooting. Man, he been in close contact with this guy and invited him into the game. Matter of fact, went as far as say he in every game. He's gonna pay that man to go to every single Philadelphia Sixers game. They have developed a relationship, and I would like to say that it's beyond just the visuals of it. At the end of the day, he did connect with that man. He truly went out there to do something special for him. So I'd like to shout out. I mean, good people doing good things, man. Shout out to James Harden, man.
James is a good dude, man.
Yeah, for real. Beyond all the strip club and all the talks that people try to tear that man down. For real. And now I'm not really being funny. I do think sometimes people can put a narrative on somebody that you forget the people are genuine human beings. At the end of the day, most people hear about James Harden. That's the first thing they think about. Strip clubs. And, you know, put a bad name on, you know. That's it. Warriors didn't play tonight, Todd. I had my Warriors uniform on last night, and next game I'll be wearing it then, man. Warriors don't stop, man. This show, it amazes me like people think like you need to ask around, man. My confidence is supreme, man. It is not a point of time that I ever get worried, bro. Not at all. Same way last year when we were down 0-2 and y'all thought Warriors stopped it. Nah, man. It's just a game, man. They gonna keep it up. 2-1. It ain't no reason to be mad at all. It's a series, man. Who win the last one? Well, we're about to get into this thing right now. Let's start this thing out. We're talking about Golden State Warriors and LA Lakers. Series is led 2-1 right now the Lakers' way. If you didn't miss the last game, I mean, it was about 30. be kind of scored like 25, 30. And the last one we beat them out, got up like 32 at one point in time when I said about a wrap. But series kind of interesting. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a game of adjustments. Several adjustments every time a team does make an adjustment. The other team quite counters to the adjustment. They're making nice adjustments overall,
Yeah,
doing
I was
good
gonna say
things.
that, man. Before we get into the breakdown, man, I'm gonna tell you, Darvin Ham is showing to be a pretty decent coach, man.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's they're playing a game with this game is has been a chess game. Like this series has been a chess game, and each coach is throwing counter punches to the other's offense. It's Darvin Ham is showing that he can coach an NBA team.
Yeah, I think I knew that from the get go. I think even what he did with the other team, as far as I think it was a talent perspective, not a coaching perspective. At the end of the day, the team was not structured properly. Even though right now he has changed he has changed this team to their strength, regardless of error. He has chose to focus in on their strengths, and then playing.
I don't know what's going on with Core. I don't know. I think Corey's froze up. But back to it. I'm going to go with my point here. I think like with the adjustments here, man. I mean, this is 4 games of completed streams. Um, I saw this analysis earlier that was broke down.
Y'all forgive me. I don't know what in the world just went on right there. Now we're back.
We back on.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all staying on right there, man. For real.
Tap your mic, man, or either get close to it.
Nah, it's not the closest, man. It
There you go.
don't.
That's perfect.
It might not look like it, but it's touching my lip if I lean any more forward.
No, we got to sell some more of those shirts, man. We got to get you a new setup.
What do you mean?
All right. So what was what was I was just making a joke. And where we at now? So
Yeah.
all right. So we're talking about the Lakers. We're talking about the Lakers and Steph Curry. And we're talking about
Yeah.
the adjustments.
I forgot what. Yeah. A heck of an adjustment that the Lakers did make is at the end of the day, I think this whole game gonna come down to the high pick and roll. What the Warriors want to make is run high pick and rolls to pull Anthony Davis up out of the paint. What Darwin Ham is decided to do is to stick LeBron James and Anthony Davis in the paint. So he's getting the top guard to 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 essentially drive these shooters down into Anthony Davis and LeBron James and create shot block. At the end of the day, these guys and they're on their hips. So if they try to shoot, the guy's gonna come across the top and swipe at the ball and make blocks. So it makes it kind of impossible to do the float game because it's making a hard floater when the guy's on your hip. And it funding you into the shot blocker. So it's kind of making it and With them on your hip, you really can't do a step back. So basically, it's just like, all right, you can go where you want to go, but you're eventually going to lead running to Anthony Davis or LeBron James, and they're just blocking the crap out of shots. So to help that, they're running screens. But the high pick and roll sets that up a lot better. When Steph is in that high pick and roll, it forces Anthony Davis to step up. He must step up. Or when Steph comes around that screen, he's going to shoot the three. Klay Thompson come off the screen, he's going to shoot the three. In the first quarter, you'll see that on and on and on. If you look at all the highlights, it's wide open threes from it. But the adjustment came in the second quarter when he started telling Anthony Davis to hedge. What a hedge is when Steph comes around that screen, Anthony Davis is to show. Basically, when he goes up, he's just basically going to come up and touch Steph. Not even, he don't got to do anything. He's just going to come up. But it gives what's the name enough time to get around that screen. Essentially, basically, you got a trap going on. But before the trap is essentially moved, Anthony Davis drops back into his drop, whoever is the rolling guy of the pick, which essentially is supposed to be Draymond Green. But if you don't notice, that last game, Draymond Green was in foul trouble. The problem with that was not Kevon Looney or JaMychal Green. And those guys are not good at making decisions like Draymond is. So that was essentially the problem. With Draymond Green being in foul trouble, it made their offense a lot worse. That's when people say that Draymond doesn't have value. Draymond has a lot of value because at the end of the day, he might not be that good of a shooter, but him and Steph Curry pick and roll is a thing of beauty. It works together real, real good. So when you take him off the floor, it essentially makes Steph a one-on-one guy, and that takes him away. Like, he can be good off, but it's not with the offense, the defense that the Lakers are running. So it kind of throws things off. So what I think they're going to do, they're going to take Draymond Green off of Anthony Davis so he can lower those foul counts because they're going to need him on the court for offense. So you're going to have to give something up on defense. Somebody else going to have to try to have a better job against Anthony Davis defending him. But at the end of the day, Anthony Davis don't play that well against the even games. We have to see, can he play better on the even games? He's typically an odd game player. 1s, 3s, 5s, and 7s is his games.
I agree with you saying. I got another thing that I noticed. And what's up, Les? What's up, Spank? That's my guy there. I noticed that in game one, the Warriors came out with a traditional lineup with two big men. They ran out with Looney, and they came out with Draymond. So they had two non-shooters. Now I know this. I know the issue with that is because the 76ers used to do that all last year and every other playoff. It does not work. And so what that allows for somebody like Anthony Davis, being that he's just a better athlete than Looney, he's able to not have to move around with Looney and just dominate the paint. And so that right there was the biggest transition. In game two, also the biggest thing is I noticed in game one when you look at off-ball percentage, y'all played Steph Curry off-ball, which was I thought was unique. So game one, y'all played him off-ball.
And you think that's unique for the Warriors to play Steph off-ball?
Let me finish. I mean, matching up against the Lakers, I wouldn't have done it. In game two, they put the ball back in Curry's hand.
Yeah.
So they put the ball back in Curry's hand, and they went back to running that pick and roll. And you see that was the biggest difference. Also, by starting JaMychal Green instead of Looney, now you got another shooter out there. So now you're not running two bigs that can't shoot. And so again, these adjustments, it's just simple adjustments. And then in game three, what Ham did, what I thought was pretty cool, he assigned Anthony Davis to go guard JaMychal Green instead of guarding Draymond. That way, when they ran the pick and roll, they could easily not put Anthony Davis in a vulnerable position because now he doesn't have to switch on stuff. So, I mean, it's just been adjustments. I mean, good adjustments. I still feel like the Lakers will win this.
I don't agree with the traditional lineup. I mean, if you look at it right now, the Warriors starting five with Looney and Draymond on the court has the highest plus amount of any starting lineup in the NBA. So that lineup essentially works all the time. If you look at the numbers, Draymond Green, Kevon Looney, Andrew Wiggins, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson has the highest plus minus of any starting lineup in the game. I'm for sure of that because any way you look, they'll tell you the same thing. So that's the lineup they very much run all the time. I think this dumb thing to come out in game one to think and don't see what the I could have guessed what the Lakers were trying to do, and I think that was kind of self. And then Steph always plays all ball. It's like no, the only time that he didn't play all ball was against the Celtics, primarily in that jump because it's kind of like what the Lakers are doing. Same thing, they run high pick and roll, and I think the problem was more so not anything other than Draymond Green needed to stop collecting that many fouls. You need Draymond on the court to run that pick and roll, and he wasn't on the court. So you look at the minutes, the way the minutes roll, Draymond was not able to be on the court because he kept getting foul trouble because of Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis barrels into him, they called a foul. Draymond tried to take two charges. They even challenged one, they still got a foul. Matter of fact, they called one a charge and they took it back and called it a blocking foul. So if you look at the game, the series of the game, Draymond had 5 fouls in the third quarter. And essentially, the only reason why he didn't get the 6 guy fouled and kicked out because they didn't play the 4th. But he didn't play a lot of minutes. So
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is my take on it. I think that what Curry is gonna do is he's gonna find a way to put Anthony Davis back on Draymond. The only way you can do that is by adding another guard to the lineup. And I think that's what he's going to do. Because you don't want Anthony Davis out there trying to guard Wiggins. You don't want him trying to guard another guard. You want to put him in a position where he has to guard Draymond so you can keep him out of the paint. And so I think you're gonna see and I don't think that, to be honest with you, it wouldn't be Poole that I would play. I
I
would
don't
either
like
play
Poole.
Moose, I'll play Moody or I'll play Dante.
Yeah, I think Poole made dumb decisions.
Yeah, I
He
wouldn't.
made stupid decisions. Like every time he gets on the court, I'm like, oh man, this guy here. I don't know what he turned into, but he's just a every time he go to I don't know how continuously you make dumb decisions over and over and over and over. But every game I'm a little bit more sure why Draymond punched that man in the face. I like God,
Man,
you just
but
don't learn.
doesn't money complicate things?
I think money complicates a lot of things, but at the end of the day, I mean, the
Yeah,
Warriors
I mean
still in a good
I think that's
position.
what I mean because he was effective as a role player, and then you start paying him not to be a role player, and then he'd have forgot that he's a role player.
Yeah.
I mean that's what it is. He has forgot that he is a role player. But
Well, go ahead and make you pick. Who you think gonna win game 4?
Lakers.
All right, so you got Lakers going up 3-1. Of course I got Golden State. And believe it or not, I had if even Golden State would have won game 3, I would have had the Lakers winning game 4. I think this game is going to get tied up, and I think eventually Golden State going to win and Golden State and they'll win the last game against the Lakers. So I got them going 3 straight. But if it were the other way, I still had Golden State in 6, regardless. 'Cause I think they're gonna win game 5. So seeing how this thing go. All right, so moving on. New York Knicks versus Miami Heat. Miami leads the series 2-1. How do you think that series is going and turning out to be?
Um, Jimmy was 9 straight games with over 25 points.
Hmm.
Is that what we talking about right now?
Hmm.
Yeah, Jimmy a problem, man. Jimmy a problem.
I'm gonna shout out a great jump right now. Bam defense overall. I mean, Bam on the score 17 points, but his defense on Randall was stupendous. At the end of the day, he had that man lost in the sauce. Julius Randle didn't want no parts of that thing. I think at the end of the day, your stars is what changed the series. Jimmy Butler is a heck of a player, especially to come off that road ankle like that and come out and score 28 uninhibited, like it was no problem to it. You didn't even notice it being a problem. But I would have to say Bam's defense on Julius Randle, he shut that man down. He made that man look like a child out there. But at the end of the day, that I think that's the biggest change from Miami. Miami, oh man, oh my God, Miami, you got to think about it. They was 500 it needed a stretch where they came out and they didn't pull it out. They still got to the play-in, got blowed out the first game of the play-in. In the second game, they squeaked in when it was down by like 3 at the end and shouldn't even been in this thing. Then take out the number 1 seed, and they legitimately looking like a stunning team. I don't know whether it's just because they playing the Nets. We'll find out, especially in the Nets series, whether they belong or not. But this team is showing up and showing out, man. I got a lot of respect for Miami. I like what they doing. I like how they really showing up and showing out, man.
It's two things. Two things I'm gonna say about. I mean, because we saw this before. We saw this in the bubble with Jimmy. Matter of fact, you see this pretty much every time Jimmy get in the playoffs.
Playoff Jimmy.
I mean, like the guy just imposes his will. Some guys just want it more. Like, and the guy's a bit of a sociopath when it comes to his basketball. So yeah, Jimmy Butler, he gives you that in playoffs. I love Jimmy on the 76ers. He just was so hard on everybody. But yeah, I mean it's Jimmy. I'm gonna tell you the Knicks. They have been trying to build around RJ Barrett. He just ain't that, man. Like RJ Barrett ain't that.
I ain't like RJ Barrett at Duke, and I've been saying this for years. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I mean,
Just not a fan.
You know who RJ Barrett need? He need Jimmy Butler. He needs somebody like that that's gonna make.
I don't think it's no help. I don't think it's no help.
I mean, he just I don't know, man.
I think he
just don't like his
sucks.
game.
I think he sucks. At the end of the day, I did not like him at Duke. I think he's selfish. Number one, I don't think I don't think he even got skill at all. He used to be the number 1 player in the nation. Most people don't know that. Coming out, he was ranked over Zion.
Canada. Ain't from Canada.
He was the number 1 player, ESPN's number 1 player, over top of Zion when he came out. He got drafted. Zion was number 2, and he was number 1. When they came there, I instantly knew this guy was not that good. He couldn't shoot free throws. He couldn't shoot a jumper. At the end of the day, he was a driver, but he's small. He's not that big. He doesn't particularly play defense that well. I do not know something that he's essentially dominant at. He's not that good at basketball. He's really a role player. I mean, I don't even think he's a great role player. Like, at least you can have a 3 and D guy. That's a slasher that really can't slash. I mean, he's not that good, man. Dude is not good. It's not good at all.
I'm gonna tell you. I think,
2 more years.
Man, I think they gotta play Derrick Rose. I would be playing Derrick Rose.
I'll play Rose.
I would be playing Derrick Rose out there because you know what you're gonna get out. You know what you're gonna get out there.
Well, Derrick Rose got a lot more talent. Way more talent. Derrick Rose can shoot. Believe it or not, Derrick Rose has developed a 3 game. And I mean, if RJ developed a shot, he could fit a role, but he doesn't have one. And he's bum, man. He's a bum, man. So, I don't like the guy. It's the only Duke player that I don't claim.
Yeah, and one thing I'm gonna say about this series, whichever team can start hitting the 3 ball is the team that's gonna run away with this. I mean, they both shot 20% last game. Miami shot 21.9 and Knicks shot 20%. That is pathetic. Matter of fact, Knicks, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, Thibodeau play Evan Fournier. At least he can space and he can shoot.
I don't think I don't think neither team is that particularly well at shooting. That's the reason why if they go to the next series, I got them losing to anybody that shows up. They ain't beating nobody. At the end of the day, either one of them is not making it past the next round. I don't care how good Jimmy playing at all. He going home next round. If he win that, I'm willing to put Jimmy up there. He don't even got to get no championship. Jimmy is top 15 player all time. He make it to the final.
That's extreme there.
I mean, Jimmy as an overall player, you got to think about it. I go beyond. I think a lot of people need to see statistics and championships to see talent. Jimmy did a lot more with less than a lot of other players. Jimmy has took teams to the finals and played other teams that's way better than him. When he played that Laker team, that Laker team way better.
The top 15 because you know to add him to the top 15 means to remove him.
Let me establish this. My top 15, I do not put even Bitman in there. I'm not a fan of Bitman. I think they essentially got a different, but I don't put them in there. I got a separate jump for between guards and wings and Bitman. I decided to do this because essentially they are they so different in fundamental. That's like comparing rebounds and one of them. Like a person would like to put in. I'm pretty sure most people top 10 gonna have Bill Russell in. My problem with this, Bill Russell didn't average 15 points. That was rebounds. Essentially, his point was not to get points. But I cannot measure it to a person that got buckets. Because at the end of the day, you was a role player and you played with 5 other Hall of Famers. I take that into account. I don't think Bill Russell was that great of a player. Like, I'm not gonna put Bill Russell over top of Kobe Bryant. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna put him over top. If anybody you want to say is Shaq, but at the end of the day, Shaq is dependent on the guard. They cannot run this thing without another man getting them the ball. You need another player is just as good, man. I'm not a fan of big man. I'm just not. That's my own personal opinion. I'm just not. You can have it, and most people know that. I don't think big man. Nah, think they all right, but they not as important as guards and wings.
I'm gonna respect your opinion, but I am no way, shape, or form am I putting Jimmy Butler over Shaquille O'Neal, over Hakeem Olajuwon.
That's not what I'm saying. They not even in my
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, over Wilt Chamberlain.
It's not even on the list that I named. I just said I don't have. I got a whole separate list for centers, and I rate centers separate. They're not even in my list no more. I said it makes it a lot easier because I do not think they run the same game. It's uncomparable what centers do to what wings and guards do. It's just tasked with more. They, especially in this day and age, it's just not it, man.
Hey, I'm gonna go with it, man.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's your prediction?
I got 2-2. I think all these series gonna end 2-2. I think it's gonna be 2-2 all the way around. I think most of these games are mimicking each other. Every time a team go down, the other team responds. Same way in the Lakers series. I think the Lakers and what's name. It's a lot of series of adjustments. I think New York Knicks will adjust and come out and do the same thing in this next game. Yeah, I think they'll match the intensity and come out with a nice game plan. Yep.
Miami Heat.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you probably got all 3-1s down there, John.
Yeah.
All
Miami
right.
Heat.
Let's go on to the next game. Celtics and 76ers.
Hey, man, you got a few questions in chat you got to address, man.
Man, go on ahead, man. Let's get it.
You got a
So
few
does
questions.
that make Jimmy successful? No, I ain't saying that he's successful. I'm saying I'm measuring at the end of the day career success, and I said that at the end of the day. When I say, of course, I'm pretty sure this is a kick at the Giannis joint. I did not say Giannis is not a successful player, and I'm pretty sure if you go back, all of this stuff is on video. You can go back to that same episode when I said, as a person and as a player, Giannis is successful. All my words are up here. Like I can't take them down. So in case you wasn't listening, you can go back, wind it, and pick back up. Here's exactly what I said. Said as a player and as a person, Giannis is very successful. But that season was unsuccessful. To say that it wasn't is just a lie. So yes, if he loses this season, don't win a championship, that's not a successful season. But it does not make you not a successful player. Or so that's like me saying Charles Barkley did not have a successful career. That sounds ridiculous. And if you make me sound like I got that point, then no, I'm not that foolish to say that. No, I think just Jimmy is a successful player. And it's a lot of players in the top 15 that never won a championship that are successful. I'm not measuring it by that. I'm not measuring it at all.
So, but what you're saying is they still had a successful career
Yeah.
if they never won a championship,
Yes.
but they didn't have a successful season if they
Yeah.
didn't win the championship that season.
Yes. Because a lot of things go into a successful career, then winning a championship.
I think people
All
argue the
stars.
same.
It's a lot of things.
I think when people say the same thing for a season,
I don't believe. I think the ultimate goal of the season is to win a championship.
and
The ultimate goal of the career is not to win a championship. What do you think the ultimate goal of a career is?
to win a championship every single year.
You think that is? Mhm. I think the ultimate goal of a career is to make the Hall of Fame. That's why I think the ultimate career accomplishment. At the end of the day, it's a career accomplishment to make the. I think that's over Hall of Fame. If anybody told me right now, would you rather win a championship or be in the Hall of Fame? I think it's not a person in the world that would say the ball boy getting a doggone ring is just as successful as Charles Barkley in the Hall of Fame. No, because everybody gets a ring. It's players that never even get in the game. Right now, when the Lakers, no matter how they like it, most likely Russell Westbrook will get a ring for being on that team. But you ain't gonna say that come on, man. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you measuring this thing kind of you trying to make your point, but it's just not there, bro. I'm making this quite simple. You want to measure a career is measured by the Hall of Fame and accolades. There's a lot of things that go into that. MVPs, a lot of things that go into a career that measure success for a career. But it's one thing to go into a season. Now, individual success, if you want to say like Embiid has individual success right now, he won the MVP. But a successful season is measured by winning the championship. And that's it.
Got it.
I wouldn't say I'm not never wrong. I'm just saying these are points that I made. If you go back, I said this during the episode. I made this very abundantly clear. I just don't think people really listen 100%. You can go back and rewind it. I promise you I said that during the episode. I promise I said I'll look it up for you if you want me to do it, and I'll put a timestamp on it. If you want to go back and listen to exactly what I said, I'm not saying Giannis is not a successful person. I'm not saying Giannis doesn't have a successful career. I'm saying strictly to this season. And y'all kept trying to make it seem like I'm saying something other than this season alone. And people kept pressing on that same point. I kept saying this season, ultimately his goals was to win the championship. If he did not do that, he failed. And it's akin to saying, all right, if I was on an Ambu Black Ops mission and my goal and success was to take out this terrorist, at the end, maybe we had a good time along the way, but if I did not take out that said terrorist, when I get back, they're going to say, you have failed. And I think ultimately people that avoid that consequence is just trying to make it sound better. And it's avoiding failure, trying to make a failure sound like a success, and it's just not it. Just take it as a failure and move on, do better. I played cornhole this weekend. I ain't fell at all. Didn't nobody beat me.
Nobody.
You know? Yeah, and just stunning on everybody out there. Today I played golf. Went 9 holes of golf and was a failure. But in my failure, I'm so much of a competitive person. I want to succeed. So now I will buy me some golf clubs and I'll start going to the driving range and learn how to play golf. But I ain't trying to say, man, you know what? I got par. So I had a successful day. No, I had a successful moment, but it was not a successful day. That's just it, man.
76ers. Listen, I'm not even gonna make this debate on what is success. We beat that horse. We beat that horse to death.
You told me to address the comments, man.
That's yeah. That's what. Hey, listen, there's a bunch of other comments in there, but yeah, I'm not going. I disagree with you. I understand your point. I'm not saying that your point doesn't have validity, but I disagree. I think that you can have a season, not win a championship, and it still be a successful season.
I told you, yeah, I think of course there's a lot of people that believe that, and a lot of people I think just it's the participation thing. The same thing. Do you believe in participation trophy? You think everybody should get a trophy?
No, I don't think everybody should get a trophy.
So if your son plays soccer and he lose, you think, you know what I'm saying? They
play
well too.
If he doesn't win a championship, and I'm not going to tell him he had a failure of a season. Like,
if they give him a trophy and he lost, you gonna put that trophy up?
Depends on what the trophy is for. If the trophy is for
participation,
just for
participation, yeah.
So if it makes him feel good, if it makes him, I mean, like I don't think that we have to even toe a line of well supposed to take his trophy and throw it in the trash and that wasn't good enough. Like no, I mean,
no man. I will put that video.
Sports are man. There's so many things that you can learn from sports outside of winning and losing. I definitely would not. I would not be the human being that I am if my dad hadn't had me in sports since I was, I don't know, 7. I played team sports for a long time, for a very long time, and it wasn't. Matter of fact, I don't even remember how many seasons I won it all. I don't even remember, but I do remember the lessons that I learned from playing team sports. I do remember those. I do remember sacrifice. I do remember having to get out and work hard. I do remember getting rebounds for the bigger kids when I wasn't good enough to play. I remember learning how to play a role. I remember all of it. It's all good. You don't have to. It's not a failure if you don't win. Ideally, you want to win, but unfortunately, only one team gets to win. That's the way it works. That's
All
just my
right.
take on that one.
I agree. I mean, it's a different way to look at it. On to the next one. Nuggets and Suns.
I like the series.
You say what?
I like the series. I like the series.
Yeah.
Um, huh. I like I said before. I think that KD is just too much. I think KD is too much for him. Um, Devin Booker is shooting out of his mind, but we knew that was going to happen. We knew it was only a matter of time. We knew it was only a matter of time. What did he have last game? He went 20 for 25. That's out of control.
That's ridiculous.
That's out of control. He ain't finna guard nobody. Like, we ain't gonna confuse him with somebody that's gonna guard somebody. But he can put the ball in the basket.
What I'm not on is I think Devin Booker is playing like the best player in this playoffs, hands down. I mean, KD shot bad last game. He had good scoring, but he shot like horrible. His shot has not been falling. At the end of the day, he got to the free throw line to get those points, and that's all right. But Devin Booker has been the best player on that team. I don't think anybody that's been watching this, I don't think KD been playing better than Book. If it ain't been for Book, that you look at the hand, look at the shooter position. Look at the shooter position.
It's a lot. It's a lot more than shoot, because one thing that KD is doing is he's getting to the line. He got to the line 6. He shot 16 free throws. He had 9 rebounds and he had 8 assists. So when you add in 39 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and 2 blocks, I'm not finna say that he's not that guy.
I'm not. That's not what I said. I said what I said. I said Devin Booker is playing better. I didn't say KD's playing bad, but compared to Booker, if you take all those stats and compare to what Booker has been doing, Booker has been playing better, way better. It's not even comparable.
Every time
if you want to say what did KD score, what Devin Booker scored 47 points on 20 of 20. He only missed 5 shots, shot 2 free throws. Like let's put that in perspective. The man, and not only that, he added 9 assists. 9 assists with 6 rebounds.
Yep.
He was 5 for 8 from 3.
Yep.
The man shot out of this world. And at the end of the day, he was the focal point of that offense. He was the first read on every single play.
And everything that happened that night, they did everything they could to get him to switch on Murray all night long.
Yeah.
All night long. Because Devin Booker ain't finna guard nobody.
How many Murray scored?
He scored 32.
So he outscored his opponent by 15 points. Same guy they were trying to score on. How much they win by?
The score was
won by 7.
All
right. So he did his job.
I'm not saying he did. I didn't say that. I think Phoenix is the better team. I think they tied the series up 2-2.
Yeah, I think they tied. I think that's really. I mean, if anybody look at their phone right now, probably would agree. They're up by 10 with 5 minutes left, unless something shady happened. They were up by 13, but unless something crazy happened right now, I think. Yeah, they're up by 10 right now, and it's practically probably over with. And let's make a run. But like I said, I think all these series end up 2-2. I think that's the way it goes. So moving on to this next one. Man, I need to get me a mouse pad, y'all. LeBron James playing with Bronny. If y'all have not heard, Bronny has chose.
You ain't getting into the 76ers? We're going to skip over them?
We went past the 76ers.
Oh, okay.
When we talked about it?
I don't remember what's talking about.
We talked about them before the Nuggets, right before that.
Oh, okay.
God, what's going on here? Well, Bronny, you want to go back to it?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
You got some more?
The one thing that I didn't, one thing in the beginning when we talked about, when we didn't go into the game, I'm going to say that for anybody
maybe
that's
we didn't though.
Huh?
Maybe we didn't. I might be wrong.
for anybody that's wondering, that Ben, because a lot of people said that the 76ers paid too much in that Ben Simmons trade. Here goes the rule of thumb in NBA: the team that's getting the better player wins the deal 9 times out of 10. It ain't about like how many draft picks you got, this, that, and the third. Getting the better player is how you win in the NBA, and James Harden is clearly the better player. I really like what that 76ers. This is probably one of my favorite 76ers teams of all times. I really like the 76ers team.
I think y'all were a step from going down 3-1. If it was 2 more seconds on the clock, y'all would have lost. What's the name hitting that shot? And I think at the end of the day they shouldn't got rid of Udoka. In that moment you call a timeout because you had a young squad that's not really used to that moment. You keep saying them make bad decisions in high pressure situations. You need to call the timeout and draw up a play. I think at the end of the day, when you kick that ball out, it was when he drove that thing, he automatically killed the clock. So he was either supposed to shoot it, but he got trapped and tried to bail that throw out to what's the name on the final 3, which you should have got into a good shot. And that's just it. You got a good shot on basket, but you ran the timeout and didn't get a shot on basket. That's just mental errors. You need to call a timeout in that moment because you still had a timeout, but he allowed them to play on. And that's a recipe for disaster for a team like them. The Celtics don't make good decisions in high pressure situations, and Philly do. But like I said, I think I would have said it was going to be 2-2 anyway. I think it's going to be 2-2, and I think 76ers, I think they lose it. Celtics win in 7. I think it's going to take 7 games, but I think Celtics win in 7.
So if you're talking about that last play, I think really essentially, I know you're saying if there was more time on the clock, then they'd have won. I don't know, man. I think the 76ers played it the way it was supposed to be played. They played like it was an isolation play. He was driving to the basket. They collapsed on the basket. When you collapse on the basket, it leaves guys open for 3-pointers. There wasn't enough time for him to get a shot off.
Yeah.
So they played the defense the way the defense was played. If there was more time on the clock, they would have played it differently. Secondly, I don't think it's ever a wise decision. I know it looks good, but it's never a wise decision when you're down by 1 to have your hopes on a guy shooting a 3-pointer. Just poor play. I think that in an isolation set, the goal was to get him in isolation and get him to the basket. No matter how you do that, whether you're running off-ball screens or however you're doing, the goal is to get the ball in your best player's hand and get him to the basket with the hopes that he ties it at the free throw line or wins it at the free throw line. That's what I'm looking for.
That's what I agree. I would think that. I would think that would have go, but then when you come down that court, that's a free. That's just basically what you essentially saw right there was like improv. It was not a design play on that joint, and that's why I say you get the timeout, you draw something up to get you a good shot. Why not call that timeout in that moment? And it works. I think it's great for teams that you like. I would say the Lakers running and LeBron James, because LeBron James is going to get to a good play. It's certain individuals that been in that moment, have been in those scenarios over and over and over again, and they know how to get the good shots. But teams like that, like I think they're known for getting to bad shots. I think they make bad decisions in that moment. I think that's the reason why Udoka would have called a timeout.
Yeah, but see, sometimes, so this is my thought process. If I have Jason Tatum on my team and I have Jaylen Brown,
bad decision makers.
But I still have 2 good isolation scores.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I call a timeout, that gives the defensive time to get into a defensive set and a half-court setting, knowing that I need to get to the basket. In that situation, if he felt confident that Jason Tatum could get to the basket and they didn't need to run a timeout, and what Jason Tatum pretty much did, he just didn't. He wasn't aggressive enough to get the shot up. Nonetheless, I mean, anytime a game come down to the last play of the game, it was more things that happened before it didn't even get you in that situation They
Yeah,
lost
the
76-1.
three they gave up to James Harden in the corner. I mean, we could talk about a lot of plays. At the end of the day, 76 won the game. I'm not trying to take anything from 'em. I just said I think a timeout in that moment would have been a good decision. But hindsight is 2020. So
Yeah,
move.
yeah. One thing that I am concerned about with the 76ers, I think they got to do something about these minutes, man. Like the minutes that we're playing these guys, I think it's a lot, and I know that Doc has his career on the line. He got his legacy on the line. He got a limited window of success with these guys that he got. This same team will not be back next year under no way, shape, or form. And he is trying to squeeze as much juice as he can out of his lemon. But you can't play Embiid 46 minutes if the goal is to win a championship. You just can't do it. You can't play James Harden 47 minutes. Tobias Harris 45 minutes, Maxey 45 minutes, PJ Tucker 31 minutes. It was. You got to get another guy in there. You got to get some minutes split. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Back to the next thing. I'm good with the 76ers. I'm saying 76ers win the next one, man. You feel the same way?
Yeah. What 76 winning enough? No, I told you I got the Celtics winning it in 7. I got the Celtics. I think Celtics win the next one. I think the Sixers win game 6, and I think the Celtics take game 7. At the end of the day, I think I got the Celtics in 7.
6-6.
All right. So LeBron James playing with Bronny. For those of you who don't know, Bronny chose his college team to be USC. And LeBron James still is looking for Bronny to be there. I started off by asking, do you think LeBron James is going to be the same capable player when Bronny gets to the league? You think LeBron James got 2 or 3 more years left?
I don't think it's about that. I do think LeBron James will be a starting basketball player at 40 years old. Ain't no doubt in my mind.
Do you think they're good? Good.
Yeah, I think he'll still be one of the best 30 players in the NBA easily. I think so. He's still in the top 10 now. Like, you got to understand, like, so right now, look at LeBron's contract. He has 2 years on the contract. However, 1 year is a player option.
Mm-hmm.
So next year is his last year on his Laker deal, if he wants it to be. His son has to give 1 year at USC. So we're really just talking about one more season. So you think that his fall from grace is going to be that? His head's still.
Number one, I don't have him top 10 player right now. I think I don't have him as top 10 player. I think he's a good player, but at the end of the day, to be objective, Anthony Davis is the best player on that team as it currently constructed. And I can name a lot of players that's better than LeBron at this current moment. I think LeBron is still talented, and I think a lot of people just say that, but without watching. At the end of the day, LeBron James, he looks old. LeBron James' shot is not falling like it used to fall, and he's not able. He could put the game together in spurts, but he is not the same LeBron James. I either didn't watch LeBron James when he was one of the best players in the world, or you're not watching LeBron James now when he does not look like that player. And at the end of the day, I don't think there's nobody in NFL media that would say LeBron James is top 10 right now. If you can find somebody in the media right now besides Shannon Sharp that would say that LeBron James is top 10, and Nick Wright, they're the only players that probably would say that. Right now, LeBron James, he even looked old last night in the win. In the win, LeBron James, he had 0 points going into the 4 minutes left in the second. He turned it on. He got a burst. He still is that player for a small amount of time. But back in the days, LeBron James will give you a whole game of that. He don't have that no more. And to act like that is just, I don't know. I think it's just people just love LeBron so much. It's hard to say that this guy is not the same, man.
I'm not saying everybody ages.
Ages. That's what I'm saying.
Right
now, LeBron is not top 10.
He's a top. Well, okay, all right. What is he top? What is he top? What, Corey? I feel like
I'm top. He outside the top 10. I can name 10. I can name 10 players.
Is he top 20, Corey?
Yeah, he got to be somewhere. I say he's top 20. He's just not top 10. I'm just saying I would not put him in the top 10. You said you would, and I'm saying I wouldn't. Do you find it crazy. I can name
Is it
10
easy?
players better than LeBron James right now
Shoot them
that I
off.
would take over.
Shoot them off right now.
All right. First of all, Anthony Davis play on his team. Jokic, Embiid, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. That's 7 right there.
I count
That's
six.
7 right there. That's 7 right there. I'm counting. You want to say it again? Or all right.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
Mhm.
Jason Tatum. I say Jalen Brown.
Oh my goodness.
We might as well. If you're gonna keep shutting it down just because I say
Jalen
it.
Brown, man, you just throwing names out there. Jalen Brown better than LeBron James right now.
Yes, right now at this current moment, Jalen Brown's better than LeBron James.
Okay.
I mean, objectively, we can look at it by measure. At the end of the day, Jalen Brown plays better defense than LeBron James, and Jalen Brown is more of a threat at scoring than LeBron James. LeBron James right now is playing the role of Andrew Wiggins, and he is for a reason. I'm not saying Andrew Wiggins is better. I'm saying his role right now, he's playing all ball. Right now, he's playing the exact same role as Andrew Wiggins, just better. He's better than Andrew Wiggins. But he's playing that role of Andrew Wiggins right now.
Listen, I'm gonna give you validity if you say that he's not top 10, but you're gonna have to throw names like Luka Doncic. We're not gonna throw Jalen Brown out there. We're not.
I'm pretty sure I know I can name 10 players better than LeBron right now.
Yeah, but we're not.
He's somewhere between 12 and maybe 13. Maybe 12 or 13. If you give me a chance, I'll write them all down.
It's all.
I don't think
we're not gonna
I
do
do
Jalen
not-
Brown though. We're not gonna do Jalen Brown.
I would take Jalen Brown over LeBron James right now. I'm talking about like right now is game, not age involved. Of course, I tell you, I'm saying games is where they're currently at as their game. But if you want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, I'll take LeBron. 3 or 4 years. I mean, probably year before last. Last year started taper off, especially on the defensive end. Yeah. I'm just objective with it. I think at the end of the day, I think most LeBron James fans will say that, but objectively, LeBron James is not the same player. That's just it. We can look at the game together, and I can point out all the deficiencies. And I'm like, do you see this guy? And let's put on some tape of old LeBron. And these are 2 separate players. They're not the same. LeBron James scored a majority of his points off fast break because he still is that guy that can get downhill and he still can beat people with size. But in half court sets, he is not the same player. He's just not. Anthony Davis is the focal point of that offense, and for good reason. For good reason.
So I think he's still gonna be good in the year. I think he's still gonna be good in the year. I think that LeBron James will transition seamlessly if he wants to be a post player. If LeBron wants to kick down to the 4, play traditional 4, there's probably not very many guys that can play.
That'd be a good position for him. Yeah.
I mean, he'll transition. I think that he'll play. As far as with Bron,
I just don't think he'd be winning, and that's why I think LeBron ultimate. If LeBron is comfortable saying, "I don't care about winning, I just want to play with my son," I don't know. I don't think that's LeBron. I think LeBron cares a lot. If he's not competing and he's just sitting up there and playing like they're just on a team and sticking around, like, and not really being a competitor, I think by the time Bron gets to the end of it, NBA, LeBron James will no longer be competing for championships.
I don't even know how to even quantify that. I think that out of all the things that LeBron has accomplished, I think the fact that he is able to do everything on the court and then raise his son to be one of the most dominant high school players in the nation. He's number 19 right now. And that's with all the hype because everybody checking for Bronny. Like he ain't like he doing it behind the backgrounds. He's playing in front of a full house. He's answering questions. He's not living a traditional high school's life. He's going to USC. And the crazy thing about it is the boy didn't even back down because the number 1 player in the nation is also a guard. That's Isaiah Collier. Isaiah Collier is the number 1 guard in the nation. And Bronny still chose to go out there and play at USC. And I'm going to tell you, my thought process is that is I think that he just wanted to be close to home.
All right.
I think that because he had offers from Ohio State, he could have went anywhere he wanted to and been the man, but he
All
chose to
right.
play with Isaiah Collier, and I think that right there says a lot about the mental makeup of Bronny. And I think that for LeBron, he's been saying it for the longest. For him to be able to play with his son, that's like that's King Griffey Jr. and King Griffey. Like that's phenomenal. That's probably number one on the top of his list. If I was a professional NBA player to get my son to play in the NBA and we can play on the same team, like
Mm.
that would be great.
I think that's dope. I think it's a good thing. I
Yeah,
don't see LeBron. I don't see LeBron doing it and not competing. I think when he said he had the idea that he'll still be competing for championship, but
well,
overall,
but see,
I don't see.
it's less about what LeBron is going to be doing and more about what team drafts Bronny, because a team will draft Bronny if they know they can get LeBron James.
Yeah.
But let's think about it. Let's think about the optics of this. If I am if I am the Detroit Pistons and I got an option to draft Bronny, knowing that I can get LeBron James, I'm doing it.
And you lose.
Oh well, I mean, it's one of those things where bringing
What?
Bron, bringing Bron to your organization, bringing Bron to your organization does a whole lot for your organization, even if it just brings a winning culture there. I mean, there's several there's several basketball players that can several basketball players can say LeBron James is the reason why they're making some money right now.
Mm-hmm.
Tristan Thompson, like
Mm-hmm.
I'll say even Kyrie. I mean, like all those guys that play with Braun, they are better for have playing with Braun. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts about it. And if I'm an organization and that's all it takes for me to get Braun there, I'm doing it.
That's all right. If it's a prerogative, I don't have no problem with it. I'm just saying I don't see it that way. If LeBron James plays with his son, that's a fine thing. I would enjoy seeing it. I just don't. I don't think it. If you were to ask me how I think this thing would turn out, I think LeBron James retires. Because I mean, ultimately, I think Bronny was. I don't think he's coming out early. I think he's going to play at least 3 years. I think it'll take him about 3 years to develop into a player that gets drafted. So after 3 years, I think he'll get drafted. So do I see LeBron James playing another 3 years after this year? That's the question. So no, I don't. Unless Bronny can come out early. Like right now, LeBron James, let's say Bronny played 1 year of college. Do you believe LeBron? I think Bronny can get drafted in top, let's say. Depends on how you think he's gonna play at UFC. I just don't. I mean, I think it all comes down to
I
what
just stand my
how many
statement.
years I think he's gonna play.
If Bronny was eligible to be drafted right now,
Mhm.
he would be drafted. A team would do it.
He don't have to go draft. He can go to the G League.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, for what? Like, he
There's a
don't
lot
need
of
the money.
the best players right now go to G League.
He listen. He don't need the money. He don't need the money, and he wants the experience to play in college. Play in college. I think that's a better move anyway.
I do think I would agree, but I think the best players nowadays go to G League.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for it. Man, and one thing, a little interesting fact, um, they're going to be playing 1.7 miles away from each other next year. Like that is so like I'm so happy for Braun. Like that is so cool that his son is playing 1.7 miles away from where he's going to be playing at. Like I'm pretty sure that LeBron has sacrificed a lot of time with his children, being this dominant and what it takes to be this healthy, to have this longevity, to play this long. You almost have to think about how much sacrifice this gentleman has had to make in order to accomplish that mission. And now he has a son playing 1.7 miles down the road, where he doesn't have to worry about can I make that game or not. He can see his son pretty much every single home game. Like that is awesome. That is great. That's cool, man. All right, so I'm excited for it. That's cool. That's all I can say about that.
Yep.
This is all we got going on today.
Yeah. Tawana asked a question. She said, "Do you think they would be on the same team or competing teams?" I,
I personally believe they will play on the same team.
Yeah, I think they play on the same team. Depending on what team that is, I don't know what team would be the team to get them, but yeah, I think I think they want to play on the same team. But at the end of the day, I told you, I think Bronny playing. I think he's gonna put 3 years in college, and I think LeBron James retires in 1 or 2. I think LeBron James has a good 1 or 2. If LeBron James comes out, if Bronny comes out in 1 or 2 years, depends on what Bronny develops into. If Bronny develops into a heck of a player, then yeah, I believe they'll play on the same team. I just don't see Bronny develop into that player. I look at his traits,
What
and I
grade
don't
is
think
what
he's that
what
good.
grade is Little James in?
I think his youngest son. Now his youngest son, I think he's going to be a dog. If you ask me, I think the youngest son is the better player. I think he's bigger. I think he could shoot better. I think he has a lot better skill and a lot better size. I think he's more athletic. The youngest son is the more talented son, and I would say that. I think I like Bronny's heart though. Bronny, I think Bronny likes the game more. I don't. I think his younger son just plays the game, but when I look at Bronny, I see somebody that likes basketball. When I look at his younger son, I don't think he really.
So so
I think he
with
just
Bryce though,
plays. I think he just plays. You see him.
his youngest son is Bryce, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's Bryce.
Yeah, I think how long until Bryce can play in
He
the
like
NBA?
6'9", ain't he?
I don't know. I might check
Bryce
this
like
out.
6'7" or 6'9".
I don't know, but that would be cool if all of them could play. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just think it's a good story.
Yeah, I do. I just don't think is. Nah, they are like 2 years apart. I don't think that's LeBron playing 5 more years. I mean, he could. Adonis Harris was still in the league. I guess. Out here on the team, and at the end of the day, they'll stuff him somewhere.
I don't know. I'm saying I'm about to say what year can Bryce? I'm looking it up right now.
He's 6'6". Bryce is 6'6" right now, and 15 years old.
Yeah,
He's
so
15.
he's eligible in 2027 to be drafted if they don't change the rules, because they've been teetering with changing the rules the last couple seasons.
So 3 more years.
So either 2027 or 2026. I'd love to see them all on the same team. I would love it. I know it's ridiculous, but I would love to see it. I think
Well, like
it's
I said, Bryce is 6'6" at this current time. That man is, and I don't even think what's name is 6'3", right? Brian is 6'3". Bryce is
matter of fact.
6'6" right now.
I'm gonna say it can happen because LeBron will be 42.
All right.
I watched Vince Carter do it.
I'm not saying it's not.
I,
It's just
I
if it
watched
happens, it
Vince.
happens. It's okay, man. I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited, man. Shout out to the Jays family, man. They doing their thing, man. They're making us proud.
All right. So, man, thank y'all for being in there. I wanna close my junk out with this video right here, man. I want to play this video.
Singers disgrace the pitcher's family, make the other players cry, and stomp their butts into the ground. Does everyone understand that? Does everybody understand that?
It looks like
Look, fellas, look. There are 2 types of people in this world. There's 2 types of people in this world. There's winners and there's losers. And just so that we're clear, every time we step on this field, our goal is to be a winner. And if your dad has said, oh, it doesn't matter whether you win or lose, just as long as you have fun, well, I hate to say it, your dad's a loser. Okay? So let's get our hands in. That team's pretty good, but we are gooder. So let's go gooder on 3.
That's terrible. That is terrible. And, let's be glad that my son don't play that team.
Man said gooder too. He used the word gooder. I don't think that's a word. Oh, that's hilarious though. Oh, hilarious joke, man. When I saw it, it's really a joke. was just a joke. The guy wasn't saying it. He was using it as a gift. You can watch the whole thing making a joke, but
Nah, I
it
mean, I
is
get
funny.
it.
It is funny.
There are people that believe that.
Yeah. Nah,
But-
it's just the guy making a joke. It was funny. But yeah.
Yep. All right, so close out, man. What you got?
Yeah, man, I appreciate everybody tuning in. He's a loser for using gooder. The word gooder. Gooder on 3. I'm about to coin that phrase, man. Hey, let's get gooder at this thing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm all about getting good.
All about getting gooder, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Appreciate y'all for turning out like y'all do. Y'all very, very special. And y'all near dear to our house, man. Appreciate everything y'all do. Hey, go to state, man. Let's get it.
He said, I got so bad when Trey played Tola, they said everyone wins. Hey, there's worse things in the world than everybody winning. Again, thank y'all for rocking with us. If you haven't had a chance to hit that thumbs up, please hit that thumbs up. It is extremely important for our algorithm. Thank you for rocking with us, and love yours.